Hey everyone, welcome back and happy Tuesday. Okay. All right, guys. Well, welcome back to Up and Adam Channel 2. We have a lot to talk about, lots to discuss. Especially with this Lala Kent stuff. This is more of like, I'm gonna play you some clips, I'm gonna react to them, but Lala Kent addressing Randall Emmett, which we haven't heard about in a long time. And also Kristen Doute chiming into the conversation. I think that there's a lot to work with here. So before we jump in, go ahead, pop off in the comment section. Do all of the YouTube-y things, and let's go. All right, guys. So I don't know if you saw this, but if you didn't, here we go. Lala Kent, thank you to Byway Hello Drama, admits that co-parenting with her ex Randall. Well, here we go.
What is a lot for you right now?
My baby daddy.
Ooh.
It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Like why?
So we have been battling for many years, and we finally got all of our ducks in a row and put the custody battle to bed. But it's just, I'm home base for my child, and we have structure. And I would blame that on being a Virgo, but I'm like, no, this is just being a parent. Like, there's bedtime and routine.
Yeah.
And he just flies by the seat of his pants, and had my daughter on an 11 p.m. flight last night when she has school this morning. And I'm just like, and I try to be chill about it and understanding that things happen. But I'm like, can we just get it together for 5 minutes?
Right.
We're all good. We're still all good.
Yeah.
But I'm like, you got me revved up last night. I go to bed at 9 and I wake up and no one's let me know if my child's home yet. So I'm texting.
What is a lot for you right now?
I mean, honestly, yeah, that would piss me off. Okay.
And
As you should have been.
and I got so
And they're like, oh, we're still in the air. What?
Yeah, that's tricky. I'm divorced, so I feel this. When and I know my daughter's very well cared for, so that's most important. But I think to myself, well, is she eating the Annies over there? Because I'm giving her the Annies over here. And is she playing with this kid over there? Because she's doing this over here.
Right.
You don't want to intrude too much because that's their time.
Totally.
But you also want there to be some sort of normalcy, along all lines.
Structure.
When did you separate? When did your baby have to start bouncing back and forth?
Well, she was 3, so I don't think 3 or 4. So I don't think, and she's 7 now. So I don't think she'll have a memory of that experience. I think her life will kind of just be I've always had 2 different homes.
Totally.
And, that.
When I think about kids who come from divorced parents, they never sit there and go, I had fruit snacks at mom's and not at dad's, but they always remember if their parents didn't get along.
Yeah.
So and they're like, oh, we're still in the air.
You know what? I don't agree with that though, too, because as a product of divorce, I mean, I always got fed whatever I wanted over at mom's house. And then at dad's house, it was a little bit different. But yes, I do agree with the statement that you always worry about or remember if the parents are fighting. I remember I think I was in 6th grade and I used to think about it and I'd be like, I don't want my dad and my stepmom to come to my high school graduation because my mom is going to beat her ass. And so I would think about that. So then I was I wasn't even excited about graduating anymore. So yes, you do worry. And by the way, mom and dad, thank you so much. I love them. However, then they waited until I was 18 and all of a sudden we were going on cruises together. Everybody was getting along. It was kumbaya. And I'm like, what the f is that? But hold on.
So grateful that he and I were at each other's throats before she can remember anything.
Yeah.
Now she picks up on things. And the fact that he and I can co-parent in an amicable way, and I can call him and be like, she's acting out. Listen to your dad on the phone. We're communicating. You will not hustle both households.
Smart.
I'm really grateful for that.
Yeah.
That is something, when I think about, because I have a bunch of friends who come from divorced homes, there was never, like you said, there was never I got this at this house and this at the other. But there also was the scenario of dad let me get away with more and mom was a little more strict. And I do think when they're growing up, that can be tough because they want to get away with stuff. But when they're older, I think they do recognize and they're grateful for the structure and things like that. That would be very hard to handle when you have such structure in your home.
So grateful that like he and I were at each other's throat.
To know that when she's not with you, there is the possibility of where she could be going to bed at 11. And here's my question. When he drops her off at school today, he dropped her off?
He did, yes.
Okay. So are you on today or no? Or is he on today?
So
sorry, if you don't mind me asking.
It's all over the place because of the line of work that he's in, and he's usually in Florida.
Okay.
So today school starts at 8:45. At 10 o'clock, she still was not there. And I'm like, not my time. Like, luckily they may just be finger painting today. And because I don't want to be, I want to pick my battles very carefully.
Yeah.
And that's just not one that I'm trying to pick today. But I did tell him he was supposed to keep her until this evening. And because of last night, I said, I'll be picking her up after school. You know, I've been cool as fuck. Fun time is over. We need to get back into a routine. And he was totally cool with that. And I'm grateful. So yes, I'll pick her up right after your podcast.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then the reason to know that when she's not with you there, think about if there is a parent who is more lackadaisical and allows more things, when you pick her up today and she's probably going to be really tired.
Yes.
And cranky.
Yes.
And immediately my mind goes to probably selfishly, like, now I have to put up with this.
Totally.
You don't have structure and you're like, that would be really hard. I feel like I'm a type A person, especially when it comes to my children.
Yes.
And luckily my husband is too. My husband's probably more so than me. We like schedules. But there is time where you have to calm down as well and just be like, listen, this is life. But doing that in two separate ways, I can imagine that's really, really stressful.
Yeah.
It is hard. A lot of correcting behaviors and things like that. And this is life. You know, we're rolling with the punches. This is my normal. So like to sit and like complain about it and wish that it wasn't this way. It's like there's nothing you can do. So like get the fuck over it.
Yeah.
I also think about even when you're in the same home as parents, you differ in your parenting techniques and you differ in front. Like I always tell my husband, when we're in the same room, if you have a problem with how I'm handling things, don't say it in front of the kids.
Yeah.
And we've had that happen multiple times. I pull his legs out from under him. He pulls them out from under me. So there's always going to be like different ways of parenting.
You know what I'm kind of getting out of this though, honestly, truly, is I think that they have, even though Lala's out here just like exposing what the situation is, I think that they are doing their best. And also, if you're acknowledging these feelings and these emotions, you know, like, for example, for my parents, and I know people are like, Adam, it's not fun about you. I get it. I'm just giving you some context here on why I'm saying what I'm saying. For my parents, though, nobody was ever wrong, ever. And so they both just, what they were both right about was that they just could not stand each other. And so no matter what, if something would happen or something would go off, it was just like, golf. I'm not wrong. You're wrong. Like, sorry, doesn't matter. So I think having this open line of communication really is beneficial. Truly, I do. But yeah, hold on. I want to play one more thing.
Address the elephant on the radio waves here. I feel like people are waiting to hear what I have to say about Lala and I. So I actually have not listened to her podcast, but sorry, La, but I did, I've read it that we've reconciled. I've done some press and people are asking me like, oh my God, what happened? You guys are following each other again. So yeah. And Lala talked about it, and she did say like she blamed herself for the falling out that did happen like a year and a half ago, which I really appreciate, which she did say to me in a text message. So that wasn't new to me, but it's also true. We haven't spoken at all. And it did really come down to that our mutual friend Meredith was having her baby shower and Lala was hosting baby shower at her home. And Meredith and Lala have been going through their pregnancies, or not their pregnancies together, but like going through Meredith's pregnancy together because they both are solo parents. Like they both had a donor. And Meredith really wanted me to come, and her mom, and they were a little emotional about it. And Meredith and I have gone through our whole pregnancy together. We're only 2 weeks apart. So it was really difficult for me because not only am I stubborn and I have pride and maybe partially ego, but I was still like, I don't know if angry is the word, but I was just kind of like fed up with Lala. Like, I'm just like fucking over it is how I felt at this point in my life. It's how I've just been feeling. So Lala had reached out a couple of times, just wishing me well in the pregnancy. She then offered like some resources that she had that she thought might be helpful to me. And I kind of ignored her for a couple of months. And then started giving a little here and there. And finally, the day before the shower, I was like, shit, I don't know what to do. So I reached out to Lala and I just said, it does feel really inappropriate, essentially for me to welcome myself into your home, even though I had heard she said, you know, I could go. And she wrote back and just said, like, you're more than welcome, of course. So I was like, you know what? This isn't about me. This is about Meredith. It is the only first baby shower Meredith will ever have. We are so close. I can be not prideful. And Lala is not being prideful, I guess, is the way I'm assuming it. So I go for like an hour. We don't really talk. We talked a lot about like mom stuff. We didn't talk anything about like our beef in the past or if we were past everything. It was just very like kind of like, this feels very peaceful. And that's what I really wanted is like, I'm so tired of like letting someone take up that much space in my brain if I'm angry about it. Like I was so angry at one point that like people would even just bring Lala up, or maybe she was filming for the Valley show, and I would get so pissed off. And it was just like, why am I allowing, like, I think there's so many more important things, especially being pregnant, I think has a lot to do with that. So I just decided I wanted peace. So then we started following each other. And it is also really nice to have another mom like in our group that I can reach out to, or when I run into her, we're like at Brittany's together. Like it's not hateful, and that does feel really nice. And so that being said, like there are a lot of things that she and I still need to talk about. And she knows this, and we texted about that recently, that I still have a lot of feelings of things that are unsettled for me. So I am excited, dare I even say, to like work those things out. And that's one thing I know about her is that if it's just the two of us face-to-face conversation, there will be nothing off limits, and it will be like, you know, we need to hear each other out and see where it goes from there. So that's pretty much.
Huh. Okay. I mean, honestly, at least she's not saying like, oh yes, I'm so happy that Lala is like catering to me now and being like, yes, I'm acknowledging. Kristen's like, great. Well, yes, you were wrong. And also just because you acknowledge doesn't mean that this feud is over, and I have some more shit to say. Not mad at it. I want to hear what you guys think, guys. Pop off in the comment section, please. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget to hit that notification bell, and we will see you later. Love you.